আপনি তেহজিব করিম
জি,
ভিকটিম নিজেই কথা বলছেন। অলরাইট। আমাকে বলেন কি হয়েছিল আপনার সাথে? স্টার্ট ফ্রম দ্য ভেরি বিগিনিং।
আচ্ছা। পুরাটা বলবো যেটা আমি লিখে দিয়েছি?
Separate processes. So we have the written documentation, we already have that. Then we have this, where we have a face-to-face conversation where I verify
What
everything.
can I speak in English? It would be easier for me. Basically, let me give you a background. I was detained in Yemen, in Sana'a, in the year 2010. So during that time, my family was approached by a few people from DGFI. One of them will be taken by the DGFI for some time, just for their purpose or something like that. And my father wasn't willing to cooperate. At that time, I had completed the diploma in Arabic language. I was doing a job at Yemen University as an English language teacher. So there, yeah. So I had applied for my family to move there as well, and that's part of the immigration process. And usually, the sponsor, whoever your employer is supposed to arrange your documents, visas for you and your family. So they didn't do it on time, and there was a delay, and they assured me that it won't be a problem. They're going to deal with the immigration. All they have to do is just pay a fine because of the overdue of not renewing or not getting my visa. So after that, it wasn't renewed. And then the immigration police detained me. And then I came to know that this was a common process going on during that time, where foreign students were being detained for different political reasons. Many of the students of our university as well. I was studying at Iman University.
Sheikh Abdul Majid al-Zandani, who was born in 1942 in Yemen. 1942 in Yemen. So his name is associated with the whole aspect of scientific miracles of the Quran and Sunnah. He would sponsor conferences across the globe, in Jeddah, in Yemen, in across the places, and he would bring many scientists, Muslim and non-Muslim. And Keith Moore at the time was one of the world's leading embryologists. Keith Moore and Sheikh Zandani co-authored a book that some of you might have seen, Embryology in the Quran. They say he was on his way to become, if not the prime minister, if not the president, then within that inner circle. And he was always involved influencing the politicians, wanting his country to be better. His vision was to teach Islam. He founded one of the most interesting, amazing universities of Islamic studies in the whole world in Sana'a in Yemen, Jama'atul Iman it is called. And I was hearing about this university even when I was in Medina, and we would be impressed and surprised at their curriculum. One of the best curriculums in the whole world. And he's teaching students from every single country. 5,000 students will study at any one time. Our Prophet...
It was a very famous university back then. And I finished a diploma in Arabic in that university. As in diploma, as in just before you join a bachelor's program, a pre-bachelor's program. When I was my detention in Yemen was also unofficial. They never showed me arrested or anything. They didn't even mention anything on my passport, nothing to say that blocked from entry or anything like that. The only thing which they said was your visa has expired. So according to the Yemeni rule, they were supposed to fine me. They could fine me per day. There's an amount which they could fine me. Go ahead.
So if this correct, you got into some immigration trouble there. That's
Absolutely,
it?
yeah.
Okay, and so you were detained there. Immigration trouble would not necessarily involve the DGFI. Why did the DGFI get involved?
I'm going into all of that. So it would be better if you actually answer the questions yourself or investigate into them. But I'm trying to give you all the details which might be relevant to you.
Okay,
So,
that's fine, but I get to choose the details a little bit as well. So it would be helpful if you answer my questions when I ask, because otherwise we will not be proceeding. It is the only way for me to proceed, right? So,
I understand, but would you be patient, a little bit patient? Give me about 10 minutes so that I can detail everything. You might get some of your answers later on.
All right, sure.
So, so once I was detained there, it was purely for immigration purpose. But then I also came to know while I was there that my brother was detained in the UK. After a few months, ICRC, which is the International Red Cross, they got involved because my family was in touch with ICRC Bangladesh. So I was missing, and they got in touch. I think the Yemeni Bangladesh ambassador in Yemen or consulate in Yemen also tried to contact me. But afterwards, ICRC got involved. And from then on, it was like they were pursuing the case, and they requested the Yemeni authorities to either charge me with the case, take me to court, or release me. And then they said that I will be released soon, and I was finally released in December 2010. So the DGFI, I don't know why they got involved, but surely they had knowledge, because they approached my father and they said that once I was back, before I was back actually, they got in touch with my father and they said, once he comes back, we want to bring him into our custody, we will keep him. Basically, it was unofficial. The day I came back, when I was at the airport, some people in black suits, they questioned me for a few minutes, about 10 minutes, and then they let me go. So that was it in 2010. Until now, do you have any questions? 2011, I mentioned in my complaint that a particular newspaper, Prothomalo, they started publishing a series of news articles about my involvement in militancy. They dragged me into it, and my father-in-law, my ex-father-in-law.
Who is your ex-father-in-law?
Was Abdul Rashid Chaudhry. He opened up an Islamic institute, an NGO type institute. It was called RCUT, Research Center for Unity and Development. The purpose of this was basically a platform for all the Islamic scholars and groups to talk and settle their differences and come to a common understanding that this is what we believe in, this is what we want in the society, and it's nothing to do with militancy or anything. So his name was actually published by Prothomalo, mentioning that this was a terrorist organization, or it had links to militancy and all of that. So from then on, in 2000 till 2015 or 16, I think, after every incident of any arrest related to militancy, Islamic terrorism, and all of that, my name would be dragged in. Regardless of the group, any group members who were arrested, my name would be dragged in. So this was going on for some time. And in 2013, I think, late 2013, information from DB high-ups, detective branch, and probably DGFI as well, that I might be picked up, I might be forcibly disappeared, so I should stay away. No, I told my father that I'm confident nothing would happen to me. I was probably naive, I came back, and nothing actually happened during 2015. And then in late 2015, I started doing my Cambridge Delta, which I already mentioned. It's a postgraduate training course. I was also doing a master's in University of Nottingham, Malaysia. So I wanted to combine the credits of Cambridge Delta and my master's in Malaysia to actually get 120 credits so that I can get into, I can just do the dissertation and get my master's degree. That was my plan. So in March 2016, I traveled to Thailand. I came back in May 2016. I returned on 17th of May 2016. Yeah, you can ask, if you want, you can ask your questions till now, or I can finish the entire thing, whatever happened, whoever picked me up. When I arrived at the airport, there were some people with walkie-talkies, and one of them was wearing a green t-shirt, a tall, dark guy, and it was pretty obvious he was communicating with someone on the other side. I could see a taller person wearing a shirt, a pinkish shirt. And this dark person, the tall dark person wearing the green t-shirt, he came to me. He was wearing a mask. When I was waiting for the immigration, he asked my identity, and then he again talked on the walkie-talkie. After I crossed the immigration, there was a long queue in the luggage belt, so I thought I'd pray my Asr prayers. So I went and make wudu, and I came back to pray, and then I saw my luggage. As soon as I collected my luggage, some people came to me, and they identified themselves as people from customs. And they said, you have to come with us. And one of them was a short guy, kind of stocky. He was wearing a silver kind of colored shirt, tucked out, and all of them were wearing masks. I'm sorry, this guy wasn't wearing a mask. So before I could answer them, I think I asked them, who are you, and all of that. They put a handcuff on me, and they started dragging me. I thought they were taking me to the customs or some place to check my luggage, so I wasn't worried at all. But they took me to the VIP lounge, and right at the exit, when we were exiting the lounge, I saw a black Jeep or SUV waiting, and that's when they put on the blindfold and the handcuff and all of that. The person who was communicating, the tall, fair guy, he was actually in front. He was leading us when those so-called customs people were taking me. So they put me on this car, they turned on the music and some initial questions, and they were abusive. And then I understood that they were taking me towards Radisson Hotel, and then past that, and then a lot of turns, about 10 to 15 minutes drive, and then we reached where it was Aynaghor. And so the description of that place and the trip from the airport to that place is very similar to the link I've provided in my complaint. One of the survivors, Mohammed Sheikh Salim, I think he gave a video interview to Netro News in 2022. And he gave all the details where this place is. And it matches the journey, the ride, the staircase, everything matches. Because at that time I didn't see it.
ক্যালকুলেশন অনুযায়ী, আমার ধারণা অনুযায়ী, আমাকে হোটেল রেসিডেন্স আর নৌবাহিনীর ক্যাম্প, কর্মীতলা হসপিটাল, এই এরিয়ার মধ্যে আমাকে নিয়ে আসছে। আমাকে মেন রোড থেকে সম্ভবত, মানে আমার ওই গাড়িটা যখন ঘুরানো হয় তখন আমি ফিল করতে পারছি ডানে হয়তো বা বামে যে কোনো একটা জায়গায় ঢুকিয়ে দিল গাড়িটা। তো আমার মনে হয়েছিল যে নৌবাহিনীর ক্যাম্প প্লাস কর্মীতলা হসপিটাল যে কোনো আশেপাশে। যখন আপনার মেন রোড থেকে ঢুকানো হয় ওইখানে আমি দুইটা আইল্যান্ড ফিল করতে পারি, প্লাস একটা চেকপোস্টও ছিল যেখানে ওনারা গ্লাস একটু নামিয়ে কথা বলে। তো গাড়িটা খুবই স্লোলি চলছিল, মোটামুটি আপনার 10-15 মিনিট গাড়িটা চলার পরে, বা আরও কম সময়, বাট আমি একজ্যাক্টলি ইয়েটা বলতে পারবো না। তো গাড়িটা যে কোনো এক জায়গায় ব্রেক করা হয়। ব্রেক করার পরে আমাকে গাড়ি থেকে নামানো হয়। নামানোর পরে আপনার কেচি গেট বলে আমাদের বাংলাদেশে কলিপসেবল গেট যেটাকে বলে আর কি, আপনার ওই গেটটা খোলা হয়। তো আমি শব্দ ফিল করতে পারি, যেহেতু আমি দীর্ঘদিন ওয়েল্ডিংয়ের সাইটে জব করেছি মালয়েশিয়াতে। তো ওই দরজাটা খোলা হয়, খোলার পরে সিঁড়ির মতো জায়গা দিয়ে আমাকে একটু নামানো হয়, নামানোর পরে অনেক জায়গা আমাকে ঘুরানো হয়।
So that's how it started. That's how I was taken to Aynaghor. Yeah, you can ask your questions now if you have any. Then I can continue what happened there.
I think it's best if you finish it, then I'll take you through the